Who's done?
I am done.
Gisella's done. Are you close to being done? How you doing, Lamar? What number are you on?
21.
Okay. It's a yes or no. There's no right or wrong answer. Just like yesterday, there's no right or wrong answer.
What do I do on
There should be a button that says get my code. Okay, and then I want you to write it on here, because we're gonna talk about it. After that, Giselle, do you mind if I look on yours here? If you go under that, after you get your code, it will say, on the left-hand side, you, and it talks about, there's just a few little, there's two buttons where you can click to get a description of your personality code, and then underneath, career choices.
It says sport coach.
Sport
I
coaching?
didn't like sports.
It's not textbook. I mean, there are obviously gonna be some that might not fit, because they're not meeting with you, they're not talking with you, it doesn't take into account other elements of your personality, but it's just they're general answers. What else does it say? Did you write your code up here? Write your code?
No, go ahead.
The 4-letter code, your
Just make
ESTP.
Click to view career choices.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Or do I just write them down?
What I'd like you to do is sort of around the outside, you're gonna write them down. Maybe things about your personality, what you think maybe fits. What's your personality code?
I'm sorry, say it again?
I'm confused.
You're confused about it?
Yeah.
Hold on, who's gonna help you?
Like, what do I write
Where?
for the?
Oh. The jobs are here on the left, radiology technician. Wait. Does he go down? But anyway, so what's your code? You wanna go back one and see what your code is? ISFP. We're very, very close, our personality types. So, you're ENFJ? Yes? It's essential for you to try things with your own hands, means you have to. I mean, it's very important to you to do things with your hands, like you're a kinesthetic learner, remember we talked about that? Use your hands.
And then you scroll down.
Okay, so, are you done?
No.
How close are you? Okay, you're getting there. Are you done, Emilio? Good, did you get a personality
The
code?
Thirst of Adventure.
Okay, so write your name and we're gonna talk about that. So then write ISTJ. Do you need something to write with? No, okay. How about you, James? Do you need something to write with? Anyone? Yes?
I put it underneath.
No. That means that, it's important to you, it's something that you think about, you know, it's almost, I wouldn't say a need, but, you know, like I crave to be outside, or I crave to sit down and have time reading a book. Thirst for adventure would be the same sort of thing.
Social life is more
Are you done, Lamar?
No, 135.
Okay, keep it up. Would you work faster if I held your phone?
No.
Okay. You're making good progress. All right, so we're gonna just start talking about some of the codes we already have. Gisela, you are ESTP. So the E stands for extrovert.
Social worker.
And extroverts work best if they can interact in small groups and talk about their ideas and think them through. Does that make sense to you?
And,
You like to sort of talk things through? No? Okay. What was your percentage? Did you go back,
Like,
go
you
down?
give them, like, you try to find them places to live.
You have a slight preference of extroversion over introversion, so it looks like you're probably pretty close. So when the numbers are close, sometimes you can cross over, you know, between two. Like introverts like to read lessons before they write them out. They like to think before responding. Does that describe you a little bit better?
I would just
And then what's your other S?
I don't have management.
S means
Politics.
sensors versus intuitives, which means you like to, do you like to view films, audio visuals,
I like to listen to music.
listen to music alone?
How's it going, Amelia?
So click on something that describes your personality type. Can you go down one to, to this one, self-awareness? You have it over there? Okay. Would you like to read your personality description? No? Can I? Okay. So Gisella's is ESTP, which says ES, which is extrovert, sensor,
It's real quick.
thinker, and perceiver.
I got ESFP.
Can you write it on your paper? So it says they're spontaneous, active people. Like other SPs, they sort of break it down into codes. They get great satisfaction from acting on their impulses. Activities involving power, speed, what does that say? Thrill and risk are attractive. Does that describe you? You don't know? Okay. It says gamesmanship is the calling card of the ESTP person. I don't know. Describe that. I mean, help me define that, gamesmanship. What was that?
I don't know what that is.
I use a bathroom.
All right, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so write down your personality code, ESFP. Tell me some careers, click on your careers and tell me some careers that came up, Gisela.
What's that? Is that nice?
Social counsel.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I have business management, sales marketing specialist in, I don't know how to say that, in stockbroker, sport
I need to.
emergency medical services.
Okay, girls, what did you get?
Oh, I have a lot.
Kimberly.
Oh, for a job,
For jobs.
radiology, nursing, medical administration, early childhood.
Study radio.
Uh-huh.
Religious education and counseling.
Okay.
Ooh, she
Yeah,
got counseling?
religious education.
What did you get?
Counseling.
Whoa, two counselors.
I'll do
Psychology.
Let me see. Psychology.
What did you get?
Saturated.
You come up, you gotta finish that. Finish the questionnaire so you can get your jobs.
Computer programming, management, fashion, merchandise, and politics.
Okay. Under you, go down to career choices. So tell me yours.
Arizona.
Acting and performance. Then keep going, public relations.
Deborah.
What about you?
I got the greatest ones ever.
The art institute,
what,
that's
Jane?
where I would go.
What did you get? Tell me, Emilio.
Management as management, vision management, accounting, computer programming, and a small necessary. What does that mean?
I don't know, let me look.
Did you finish yours, Jose?
I don't know why there's a
Did you finish yours? So you got your job listing, careers?
Sure.
That's my
Dentist, dental assistant, technical education. So some of that fits into you, like the technical part, don't you think? And your like of design, animation.
It says arts, customer service, social service, and we have to pick one.
You don't have to pick one of those, that's the thing. So what I want you to do is, after you've written down your code and some of those jobs, think about some of the jobs that we talked about yesterday and the day before. If you remember them, put them there. There's a couple things that we're going to do about that. So what I'd like you to do is to, if you feel that those don't fit you at all, which that's okay,
Yeah, fitness is a fit now.
okay,
What else did you come up with? Just curious.
Like what?
What other jobs came up?
Oh, just like acting, performance, designing, and advertising.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what I could see?
Do they fit you?
Huh?
Do they fit you, the others?
The acting and advertising, yeah. Not the design.
okay.
Design.
So
Okay.
then put down the ones that you identify with. Like I said,
This one.
James, like I said, it's not gonna be perfect because it hasn't met you and it's just based on yes, no questions. It's just a general idea. But what I would like you to
Where did you
do,
get Lamar?
James,
He did finish, so we're gonna go over his in a few.
okay, what is it?
Read your letters out,
What are
Lamar.
your letters?
Read your 4 letters, the red and the red, right there.
Red.
Read those letters.
ISTG.
Jay, can you write that down?
ISTJ.
What'd you get?
But that doesn't mean.
Yeah,
you're-
what did you get,
Say
Emilio?
there are 16 codes.
You got the
Okay,
same?
so,
Yeah.
Really? Okay. They got the same thing. Okay.
Wait,
so what I want you to do is think about some of the jobs that I put down for you and some of the jobs that we learned the other day. And I'm gonna give you this, and I was talking to Miss Stiles. I think it's important when you're exploring careers, yesterday, remember we talked about your values sorts and your,
Do we need to write?
no? But I want you to think about
Do we put our name on it?
the career, yes, please. I want you to think about a career. After what we've done the last week and today, think about, that's great. I mean, I think that's important. That's in your heart, that's what you really wanna do.
I wanna be a doctor
Okay, so what I want you to do is
and an actress.
find someone.
You can act, pretend to be a doctor in a TV series.
That's right.
We'll talk about it.
You could be on Grey's Anatomy. Our favorite show. So what I want you to do is think of someone who's in that field that you are interested in, that you might know, or is within our school walls.
Two people had counselor come up. I heard that.
Right.
It's easy to find 4
Police
counselors.
officer, Kimberly, you have a resource here with Officer Cook.
Mhm.
I have a resource.
Yes, you do.
Just us.
Or me,
Mhm.
or Miss Benny, right, or.
Miss Velasquez.
Velasquez.
So you got 4 choices.
So, yep.
Okay, let's keep going. Keep going.
So anyway,
I'm gonna fill you in.
What I want you to do is think about your 2 top choices, and write them on the top of your paper. And over the weekend, I want you to think if there's anybody that you could interview. If you know somebody right offhand, I'd like you to do this interview over the weekend.
Except if it's counseling, you won't see us over the
Unless it's
weekend.
counseling, you won't see us.
Wait, so I could
So
do this
should I do
with
it on
opposite
Monday?
post?
Or do you know anyone else who's a police officer or in law enforcement?
So you have to do it on Monday.
Right.
Yeah, you do.
So I can do it on Monday?
But we do have people here who are in the medical profession. We've got,
You should.
we've
Oh,
got,
I'm gonna
do we have EMTs here?
Yes, we do. We have an EMT class right down here on the second floor. Emergency medical technician.
Psych, no, they're not.
We have an EMT. We have 2 EMTs here.
They can talk to you about what they,
Is that's not a doctor though.
no, but it's a medical
Yeah.
field. But I'd like you to interview someone who's in a career field that you're interested in. And I think these are good questions because they're gonna tell you about becoming that profession. Some things that you might not think about. And then I want you to come back and share your answers. But today I gave you this paper, this that says map, make a plan. And I also, that's fine. Yeah, I want you to personalize this anyway, so you're well on your way.
It's your map.
What I did was I took your folders and I went ahead and punched holes in all of your papers. And somebody donated binders to us and dividers. And we're gonna make a binder that's all about you. And this can go in the front with your, what's on your mind. You can cut that out and put it here. And put it in the front. And by the time we're done with this class, by the end of the school year, you'll have written a resume, and you'll have done a lot of self-exploration, career exploration. You will have learned how to interview someone and be interviewed, and be prepared to apply for a job, be looking at colleges and have your interests, and you'll have this binder that's gonna have all of that in it. So you could, if you went to an interview or went to go volunteer someplace, because they're gonna interview there, right? They're not just gonna say, please come in and work with our children. They're gonna say, I'd like to talk to you about your interests. And what would be a handy dandy thing to take with you to that interview? Right, or your binder. This is what I've learned about myself, and I've given this a lot of thought, and this is what I'm good at, these are my skills. These are my interests, right? It's gonna be all about you, and meanwhile, you'll be making a plan for job or going to school after high school. Does anybody have any questions? We're gonna discuss the personality codes a little bit more. But does anybody have any questions up to this point?
No.
All right, so I found this. The test that you just took is based on the Myers-Briggs personality test. And why isn't it going forward? Oh, missing video. Well, we're not gonna watch that then. So, think about your family or your friends even. And see these, Kimberly and Katie. So think about who has these different personality traits. Who's the most social of your group? Let's think about us, right here. Who's the most social? Come on.
Do you guys know what it means to be social?
Hell no, boy.
Hey,
Who's the most social?
They think it's them.
You guys? Okay. Okay. All right.
A tie. Who's the quietest? What do you think?
I am,
You think you are?
and Jose.
And Jose?
Good job.
Oh, do you know this about each other? Who's the neatness freak?
Not me.
Who likes things nice and tidy and neat?
Luna.
Does anybody want to offer?
I know it's not me.
It's not me. What about passionate about what they want to do or their opinions? Who's the most passionate? About what? Just opinions or what they want to do? Does anybody have any ideas? How about most logical? Thinks things through very systematically. Amelia, I think you're pretty logical. Do you think you're logical?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Interesting.
So, We've already written our name on the page. Now, with your other hand that you don't write with, write your name again.
If you're right-handed, use
So
your
if
left.
you're right-handed, use your left hand.
Are we writing it on?
Wait, where?
Yep,
Let me try this.
yep, underneath your name, write your name with your other hand.
I'm gonna try to see if I can do this.
Because
Because you never know, you may break your right hand.
Done, I've done.
No, on your,
I wrote it.
on your make a plan.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the one that you wrote with your dominant hand, though?
This is my last one.
Okay, so then do your right hand.
Oh, this is hard.
I'll give it to everyone.
But what if you break an arm or break a hand? It's good to know how to write. Mine is kind of sloppy though.
Oh God, this is terrible.
Just so it still has flair. I like that.
Did you try it, Emilio? Let's see what you got.
I used to write this one.
Okay.
So what's the
Which one's
difference?
your left-handed?
This one looks floppy.
I know that one.
That looks the same.
That's pretty good.
Wait a minute. Which one is the left hand?
This is left.
And what's the right? Oh my goodness, they look exactly. That's good. Let me see yours, Katie.
Mine looks so different.
All
Oh,
right,
that's good
so-
too. Oh my goodness.
The C and A are just.
So it's still almost. Okay, did you read it?
So this tells us about the test. It was created by this woman and her mother, and they developed this inventory, which an inventory is the list of questions around the ideas and theories of some psychologists, of a psychologist, Carl Jung, who was a contemporary of Sigmund Freud, but he didn't necessarily believe everything that Freud believed about our psyche. And so this says something that I think is very true. We assume unconsciously that people's minds are very similar to ours. Don't we? And often we interact with people coming from that level instead of maybe understanding that someone else's values are different than ours. Can you think of times that we've done that? We've made the mistake of addressing somebody like we would want to be addressed and it doesn't necessarily work?
Think about it. There's got to be a time when that happened.
Maybe talking to your parents or a teacher.
You ever said the statement, "My parents just don't understand," or "They don't understand what it's like to be me"? Same thing.
Same thing. You probably are, you could be different personality types. Your values are a little different. You're in different stages of your life, that's for sure. So we want to learn more about personality types so we can
early today because it's
expect
Friday, so just hang tight with it.
differences in different people, and so we can cope with people better, in a better way. So, they decided there were 4 ways that people differed from each other, and they're called preferences. Just like your hand preferences, you're right-handed or left-handed. They're preferences and they're opposite of each other. And they're, one is introvert, the I. How many had I as their first letter? On your 4-letter code that you,
The 4 letters,
I-
in red.
so
2. What did
they can
you had?
reflect first and then act. Has anyone ever said, please think before you act, or think before you speak? My grandmother used to say that to me all the time. Because I am not I. People who have the primary elements as I, they like private time to sort of recharge. They're motivated, but you don't necessarily see that. And they prefer one-to-one communication and relationships. Who had E as their first?
I think.
Act first and think later. That would be
Watch your
me.
foot. I gotta move because it's coming in.
Unfortunately, it gets me into a lot of trouble. So I'm learning.
Sorry, I heard you
still.
right there.
They feel deprived when they're cut off from the interaction with the outside world. Has anybody ever taken your phone away? How does that feel?
Sorry.
Terrible.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh.
Lonely.
I'm on
My son's like, my people need to hear from me. Right? They
I do
want,
that to my mom.
Yeah.
Mom, God, I need my phone.
right. These
I
people
need
are,
to let people know I'm alive.
right. So usually these people are open to and are motivated by the outside world. They are energized by a group, they think well in a group, they like to brainstorm together. If you had a group project, you'd probably really enjoy that, bouncing ideas off of everybody. Yeah. And you enjoy a wide variety of people, and change is okay with you. So who had for their second letter S? How you perceive,
Yeah, second letter.
Yeah.
sensing.
Yeah, I sense.
You mentally live in the now is what it says. What was your second
Oh.
letter?
Spiritually sense.
What about you, Jose? What was your second letter? N?
Yeah.
So, it says S, people with sensing characteristics use common sense and they create practical solutions. And it comes to them very naturally.
Ooh, wow.
And they remember a lot
So,
of things. Their memory recall. If anybody asks
Sensing
my husband a question
characteristics.
about our past or our children or when we got married, he always says, ask Tracy. Because she will remember.
So that wouldn't be me then. If it comes to, if you have to have a good memory, that's not me.
And these people tend to pull on their past experiences. They, from what they've learned,
Did
good
you-
and bad,
you get
mistakes and successes. They learn from these. And they like clear and concrete information. They want to know what the deal is. I don't work well when the facts aren't all together, you know, if they're fuzzy, is what it says. Who had N as their second? Intuitive.
Oh, one person, two people.
So you live in the future. So you think about the possibilities. You know, not like, you know, Star Trek or anything.
Not that far in the,
But you
not
think,
like
not
that.
that far in the future. But you think about the future possibilities. And you use your imagination and you're creative.
So I only have two people that have that.
You're comfortable with not having specific details. Does that describe anybody? Do you think that's right? If you had an N as your second letter?
I don't know
Yeah. Who had
A T.
T as their third letter?
Let's see yours.
Raise your hand. If you had
Nobody
a T
had a
as your
T?
third letter.
I did.
You had a T?
So it says, do you
Thank you.
instinctively search for facts and logic when you're trying to make a decision? Does that describe you? Do you search for facts and logic when you're trying to make a decision? No?
I don't, there's nothing like me. I don't know what this stuff says.
So it doesn't reflect you?
You don't think so?
Sometimes it happens, yes.
So, do you accept conflict as a natural, normal part of relationships with people?
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Alright, we'll go through this a little faster. F, your feeling characteristics,
Speak
who
up
had
your voice.
that?
For the third letter,
Uh-huh.
The ladies in red.
Naturally seeks consensus and popular opinions.
Interesting. We have about 3 minutes, guys.
Alright. Unsettled by conflict. Alright, last two, J,
Oh, mine.
judging. You
Yeah,
plan many
raising
details in
hand and
advance, who's a
judging.
J?
Pete.
You work and avoid stress by keeping ahead of deadlines. You like to have a deadline, naturally use targets.
yeah, I
You know that?
Yeah, you had
Your
a, I remember you had
structure,
a
if
J.
you
I
know
think I
that-
remember a J on yours.
But I don't do
You
nothing.
probably
You
like
don't
to
do
use
that?
a calendar,
Oh.
James.
yes, yes.
Okay, and
Shut
then
up.
P,
Your voices are on here. so-
perceiving.
Yeah.
You're comfortable
I was joking.
moving along without a plan. Is that you,
I'm
James?
cooling in this
Yeah.
hellhole.
I don't need a plan. I just, like,
Unstructured.
go with it.
Go with the flow.
You're
Yeah.
tolerant of having pressures on your time. It doesn't bother you. Okay?
Timing.
I don't like.
This is fun.
No, it says frequently asked questions. So just knowing your type fits you in. No, we talked about this, right? It's just a general guideline.
Right, it's not exact, not always
But
exact.
supposed-
It's close.
Maybe gives you a little bit of insight into you and other people around you. Can you change your type? Some people think no, but you know, Gisela doesn't think that's her. If she were to take another test like this again, maybe she would come out as something different.
Lamar,
You know, it would just depend on your
it's picking up
answers.
his nose.
And it says, as you grow and progress through life, you can change. Is everyone of the same type alike? We had two people who were the same type.
Right here, the two back here.
Are they alike? Are they alike?
No.
No. There's many
It varies.
individual types within each one of these codes. So this is Canada because the person who did this in Canada, but it was interesting how these came out with men and women, how the percentages of men and women for extroverts, sensing, thinking, were mostly female. And introverted, intuitive, no, I'm sorry, were male, and the other were mostly female.
Okay, guys, we're almost there. One more minute. Just hang tight.
Okay, so how do you use this information? What did we talk about? It helps you choose a career.
Yep.
It helps you deal with people and problems in your life when you realize if you're always late or you don't get your assignments turned in on time, maybe you would work well with what? A planner. And it helps you understand your work habits. And you can learn how to interact with other people who are different personality types. They say sometimes opposites attract.
Yeah.
Right? Right? I keep saying right. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want you to, what are the things that I need from you for the weekend, after the
Permission
weekend?
slip and the question.
The interview.
Oh, I can't do it, I have to do it on my.
If
Oh,
you
yeah, I'm
did
doing
it,
it on Monday. Can I come get it on Monday?
come get what on Monday?
The interview question.
If you did not finish that,
Do we close?
what's on your mind, if you didn't finish that, you have it in your email. Could you do it at home and print it out and bring it, please?
Do we just shut down the
Can you do
computer?
that?
We shut down the computer.
Please exit out of that and you
Thank
can
you.
shut down your computers.
And if you're going to interview any of us, do it Monday
Can I have your
early.
papers that we did
Okay,
today
okay.
instead of
Like
putting them in
before
your binder
first
or?
period?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, I'll get them.
Or you could join.
Any last minute questions for Ms. Ballard
Does
before we
anybody
end?
have any
No.
questions? Thank you.